All right, guys, we are here today. It is time. Let me know how the music is. Yeah, we're here. All right, Bitcoin's still just under 100K. We got the SPY. SPY at 604.60s. Google down to 192 still. We got QQQ down to 526s. What's up, Ed, Richard, Herb, Marston, Sam, Faye, Mark, Pawn, Ray, Trading, C. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good. Jobless claims, unemployment today, 8:30 Eastern. Ugh. Where's my coffee at, bro? Where's my phone? I gotta go find my phone. I want to make sure it's not bugging everybody going off. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. I'm like OCD with alarms. So I will like set 5, 6, 7 alarms for random times in the morning because I have like OCD and I don't want to not wake up, you know, and like miss work or miss some big thing going on in market. So I just set like 20 alarms. And sometimes if I leave my phone in the other room, they just go on and they go off. And they just ring and ring and ring and everybody hates me. So, I found it though. I found it. It's time to drink some caffeine. It's good though. It's routine, man. It's routine. We got to stay in that routine. Yeah. Yes, sir. Ugh. All right, guys. All right, guys. Yeah, so Bitcoin all the way back up. Let's check out some news today, huh? Let's talk about it. Today we got jobless claims, unemployment. I do want to give a shout out to everybody that helped me grow my channel. Pawn, be safe, bro. Pawn says there's a tornado watch in his area, bro. Be safe, dude. But yeah, I do want to give a shout out to everybody that helped me grow, man. Honestly, we've grown so much, dude. Even like our normal streams, like very quickly, they're getting like 500, 600, 700 people watching them, and that's great because, like, you know, like you might see some other streamers and they average like maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 people watching their streams, and that's pretty consistent. Like day trading streams, we're kind of a mix between day trading and economics, and I think it's a good mix, right? Like we invest, we swing trade, but in general, like our normal streams where we don't have any economic data, anything going on, we might get like, we used to get like 400 or 500. Now we get like 600 or 700, and that's slowly growing because like what we do is like when we have big economic reports like the Fed meeting, we've got 5,000-6,000 concurrent viewers watching that thing. If we have like a big Jerome Powell speech, we've got like anywhere between like, usually it's anywhere between like 3 and 10 10,000 concurrent viewers watching Jerome Powell. Earnings usually between 1 and 2,000. And so like our big streams certainly compensate for our little streams, but our little streams are growing is the point. And so thank you so much, guys. I appreciate, the consistent, regulars here. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys so much. I try to do my best by you guys. Like I really do try to teach you guys for free, like what I know and understand. And so hope you guys, continue to find value here, I guess is the point. Yeah, everybody wish pawn safety. All right, so Ford's weak guidance sends automaker stocks sliding. So Ford's relentless focus on cost. Ford dropped 4.5% in after hours yesterday. If we take a look at Ford here, under $10 at 950s right now. The automaker hit a quarterly sales record but raised an alarm with a light guidance for the year, saying profits will be marred by, quote, headwinds related to market factors, and Ford is now down because of that. You can see Ford's previous closing price is sitting right at $10. It's now down to $9.50, down 50 cents, almost 5%. So yeah, definitely top 3 greatest streamers ever. I appreciate it. Yeah, we got the Bank of England rate decision. We got a bunch of stuff. AI is becoming so useful though, dude. It's becoming so freaking useful, man. It really is, dude. Like AI, and this is where people this is where people, like, they're fearful about the future of search engines. And they're fearful of it justifiably, I think. But I think, like, companies like Google, I always bring up Meta, right? Like, Meta, and I was bearish on Meta 2-3 years ago when it was under $100 a share. Again, Facebook was kind of dwindling. Facebook was dwindling. They had lost money in the metaverse. I didn't like some of their acquisitions that they were doing, and they just proved me wildly wrong. And so what I learned from that is that these companies have resources that you might not realize that they're going to be okay. Google's going to be fine. If anything, I think it's going to broaden search. If anything, I think it's going to broaden search. The other question is, what's the net effect of websites? Like, websites are useful. Obviously, people still use websites. I'm not saying websites are going out. But, like, an example of this is, like, when you search for something, you get an array of different sites that you can choose from when you search for it. But when you use AI, like, sure, it gives you some sources, but it's more like summaries of all the different sites they give you versus like allowing you to click on the different sites. And so I think one of the net effects of AI is going to be people use websites less, believe it or not. People use websites less, but you're always going to need sites. Like, I'm not saying you're not going to need sites, but I think they're going to lose some traffic because of less search engine traffic. All right, guys, so take a look at the biggest stories of the day here. Morgan Stanley and other Wall Street banks have successfully sold over $5 billion of debt associated with the $44 billion acquisition of X. This move follows a previous billion-dollar debt sale and attracted investors like the Citadel and Apollo Global Management. Sales were bolstered by Musk's perceived closeness with the current president and the return of advertisers to the platform. Treasury yields have seen significant declines, contributing to the stabilization of U.S. stocks amid the ongoing earnings season. The drop in yields, now below 4.5%, was influenced by a surprising decrease in the service sector pressure. ISM services yesterday was lower than expected, and a delay in U.S. tariffs in Mexico and Canada. Federal Reserve policymakers are expected to continue gradual cuts with insight from key figures like Chris Waller anticipated. And with this news source, let's take a look at the CME Watch tool. Let's see what it's showing for next month. Honestly, I haven't really looked at it for this, like for next Fed meeting. You know, the recent Fed meeting was last week. It's still overwhelmingly like expecting a pause in March. So they're still expecting a pause in March. We'll see if this changes. You know, we'll see if this changes as you know, yeah. So another big story for us traders here, guys, like another big story for us traders is that SIBO is expanding U.S. trading hours. So SIBO is expanding U.S. trading hours. Global Markets, SIBO Global Markets has announced plans to extend 24/7 trading for U.S. equities on its SIBO EDGX exchange, pending regulatory approval. This decision aims to meet the growing demand for U.S. stock trading, especially from retail and those in the Asia-Pacific region. In contrast, SIBO has decided against launching overnight trading in European stocks as European traders continue to advocate for shorter trading hours to improve liquidity and work-life balance. Bro, we got to get these degenerates out of here. Nobody wants 24/7 trading, dude. And the fact that it's not Europe, it's just the U.S. kind of sucks, you know? To me, it seems greedy for finance to want this, right? Like, I think we need work-life balance. Like, do you really want to have to worry about a stock move at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning on a weekday, bro? Because that's what these people are freaking advocating for. Like, imagine you get into a position and you can't sleep overnight because that position is going to freaking move at 2, 3, 4 a.m. if it can. That's a dumb thing. I'm not for it at all. You know, I'm just not for it at all. So U.S. tech companies are facing some challenges, though, amid ongoing tariff conflicts initiated by former president with China and the European Union. The EU is considering retaliation against Silicon Valley firms if the tariffs are enforced. Additionally, China, their antitrust regulator, may investigate Apple's App Store policies. These developments have broader implications for U.S. trade and global tech industry. The crypto industry is reacting to tariff concerns as well. The crypto market has experienced notable movements due to tariff anxieties. Either in particular has been seen a more profound decline compared to Bitcoin, dropping over 12.5% over the past week. Bitcoin fell 6.2%. Or Ether in particular has dropped 12.5%. Bitcoin fell 6.2%. So former Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross has suggested that Elon's Department of Government Efficiency, which is DOGE, D-O-G-E abbreviation, should focus on the World Bank for spending cuts. Ross raised concerns about the World Bank's fund management, highlighting the U.S. taxpayers are the current largest contributor, while China benefits significantly from lower rate loans. He argues that the bank is enabling China to conduct economic warfare and points to issues such as favoring Chinese firms for contracts and China's substantial debts to the organization. And again, financial markets are still experiencing volatility. Let me make sure this is accurate. Yeah, this is all accurate. Financial markets are still kind of volatile, guys, from the trade war stuff going on with the Chinese tariffs, levies on goods, Mexico's tariffs, levies on goods, Canada's tariffs, levies on goods. Today we have jobless claims, unemployment filings dropping at 8:30. Let me get a timer up here as well, chat. All right, guys, here's the timer. We got 56.5 minutes. AI fluctuation. Investors are expressing caution following sell-offs in U.S. tech stocks related to AI. The debut of DeepSeek cost-effective AI reasoning models raised concerns about AI bubbles as well. So that is the news today, Chad. That is the big news so far, at least. Yeah, dude, like, I don't understand how traders can't understand the logic of if stocks are open 24/7. If stocks are open 24/7, like, to be honest, guys, it's probably better for me if stocks are open 24/7. Like, I would have I'd be able to stream nonstop, basically, as much as I want. Like, I would be able to trade at 3 a.m. on one day if I wanted. I could do multiple different streams. But I want work-life balance, too. And the problem that we get from 24/7 stock trading is you don't have consolidated volume. The patterns that we know are going to disappear if it's spread too thin in terms of hours for stocks. Yeah, so Thomas, today's is jobless claims unemployment filings. So it's basically how many are filing for unemployment week to week. Fridays is the rate of unemployment, right? So there's a difference. This is a weekly report, a little less important, but still important nonetheless. It's a weekly report. It's called jobless claims unemployment. It's how many people are filing for unemployment week to week on a weekly perspective. Fridays is the rate of unemployment, right? So Fridays is the rate of unemployment. So Friday we have non-farm payrolls, and then we have the unemployment rate for January, like for the previous month. It's expected at 4.1%. Today they're expected at 214K, 214. So right, you'd lose the 9:30 opening bell, dude. Like, it would be terrible, man. Like people are dumb, you know. Yeah, like you know how crypto has no real consolidated volume like that? Like it doesn't really run and like it doesn't really have like a big consolidated point of volume for trading. That's what they're trying to do to the stock market, and it would destroy it. It would destroy it. It would destroy futures excitement. It wouldn't be as fun. Unemployment is Friday. Jobless claims are today on Thursday. What if the numbers are higher? It means more people filed for unemployment. It's less economic growth. Hey, nice star. Hey, good job, Damien. How will this impact inflation? Well, I think the whole market is kind of in a backwards fearing thing where the market fears inflation more than anything, right? So I think the market fears inflation, and anything that signals potentially worse inflation is going to make the market panic. That's at least how it's been for the last couple weeks or month, or, you know. I thought about shaving my beard yesterday. What do you guys think? I trimmed it out some. You can kind of see how I trimmed it out some. I thought about shaving my beard. Have y'all seen me without a beard, right? I got some old pictures. I'll show you guys. What do you guys think? Should I shave my beard? I don't know yet. Carol's telling me I should. It's been so long since I've shaved my beard, though. Yeah, it's been so long since I shaved my beard. All right, guys. If you shave your beard, do you think this will affect the crypto market? Jobless claims? Yeah. Yeah, here's me without a beard. You know, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know. Kara's telling me I should. Maybe I'm getting old and she's like trying to tell me something like, hey, bro, it's time to shave. Maybe it is. I don't know. Amazon's earnings. Amazon earnings today, for sure. We're going to stream those live. Baby Steve. Yeah. 3 months it'll grow back? Nah, it'll grow back in like a month. I could probably grow it back in a month. This little thin beard I got now could grow back in like a month. The problem is that if I try to grow it back, there's like an awkward stage where I look like Joe Dierte. You know, that's all I'm saying. What did ARM do for earnings? ARM had earnings. They're ripping up. Look at ARM here on the left side. NVIDIA all the way back up to 126. I wonder if ARM earnings benefit. Oh, no, actually, ARM is down big from their earnings. Not big. Not big is a little bit embellishing. They're down enough. They're back up, though. They're kind of flat, though. I mean, they're down a couple dollars a share, but it's not the big reaction. At first, I thought they were up from their earnings. Leave the mustache. All right. Bad, wrong word, not aggressive enough growth is right. Yeah, I mean, I'm peeping out all the other news. Warner Music Group posted 45-cent EPS versus 34 expected. We got some other news coming out today, guys. Like I said, man, today we have jobless claims. The Bank of England rate decision showed up at 7 a.m. this morning. Came in at 4.5%, which is a 25 basis point cut from 4.75%. So the Bank of England's kind of on par with us. They're basically where we are now. So their monetary policy is kind of mirroring us in the U.S., it looks like. Challenger job cuts came in at 49.795 thousand. So we did have Challenger job cuts. Yeah, I'm certainly not telling anybody to buy Google. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Remember, I am terrible and I have no idea. I might be wildly wrong about anything I say. I do trade off stream. Sometimes I lose off stream. You're not going to see it sometimes. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Guys, I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. If you copy me, you might lose. Don't copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly, guys. Add you to the jobless claims. Yeah, earnings have been weird. They've been strange. Like, okay, so in general, companies can have good EPS, good revenue, and go down, and bad EPS and bad revenue and go up. And that's true for any earnings season. I would say the amount of times that we've seen completely nonsensical reactions from earnings, the ratio of like sensible versus nonsensible reactions is it's much lower. We're getting much higher nonsense reactions. Like companies report good guidance, good EPS, good revenue, drop. Companies report bad guidance, bad EPS, bad revenue, push up. And so the earnings are a little bit more, make a little bit less sense this season, in my opinion. But they are, like, the net effect of them has been somewhat positive. Like, it hasn't been terrible. It's not like we're down huge on this earnings season. So... All right, guys. All right, so again, we're going to make our post about, Again, give me a follow on X. Yeah, so give me a follow on X, guys. We got our news story posted that kind of details all the different news stories that we have here. You know, on the day. Again, this is going to be a daily report around 8 a.m. every single day. If you want to give your boy a follow and check out this news release, again, give me a follow on X at Beginner Trades. There's the link right there. There's the news post if you want to see it. Give me a follow. We appreciate it, chat. What's up, Pawn? Hope you guys are doing okay, man. Yeah, y'all be safe, Pawn. Nvidia going up. Yeah, Nvidia up to like 127s this morning. 126s, I mean. Q started to bounce back too, so we're kind of flat where we start the morning. You can kind of see the previous closing price here, right around the 200 exponential volume weighted average price level. So we're sitting right around neutral this morning. Oil, Google, 192.50s. You need $1,100? What? Threw me off having a different profile pic. What's my X one? Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate the follows, guys. All right, chat. Again, the Q at 526.70s. 526.70s. All right, chat. Whew. How do you prep for the day? I look up news stories, document levels, wait for the opening bell. Hey, what's up, Plus? Could the jobs report make the stocks tank? Yeah, it could. Will it is a different story, but it could. The VIX is down a little bit today, which is good. You kind of want it down. It's down to 15 points. I mean, it depends on what you want. Like the volatility is down today, which is good. It's kind of like you want it down, I would say. All right, guys. So yeah, we're watching Bitcoin, man. I'm wondering if Bitcoin can make its second move today. Again, we dropped the stories. Sibo thinking about doing 24/7 trading hours. You know, we got some other stuff moving, but yeah. Hey, what's up, Snow? Is my trading view laggy at the moment, guys? I use a bunch of different sources for earnings. PP, I mean, I wouldn't say any of them are necessarily like my main go-to for earnings or anything really. To get my XFA Louis, or like to pass it, how many did I use, or once I got funded? Yeah, we're covering Amazon for sure. Yeah, we still got 40 minutes until jobless claims unemployment filings, guys. 30 minutes or 40 minutes. UFC 312. I don't know, man. I think Duplessis is gonna win, but I think it's very close. They're very even in that regard, I think, to be honest. I size down once I'm funded, so I use either one contract of NASDAQ or S&P E-mini or multiple micro contracts typically, but I size down once I'm funded. Yeah, AI, man. All right, chat. Yeah, so again, guys, Nvidia's pumping up today. The NASDAQ is up to 527s. The SPY up to 605s. Now, like I said, yesterday alone, if we take a look at price action here, you can see a very common trend in almost everything, right? So here's a 15-minute chart. This is the trend, okay? Tariff news here. Gap fill from the tariff news. This is the SPY. Tariff news here on the Q. Gap fill back up on the NASDAQ 100. You can even kind of see it on, like, Nvidia to a certain extent. And this is why, you know, like, most markets follow each other. Nvidia down on the tariff news, rebound over the last, like, 4 days. Now, where the tariffs are even more, like, affecting of things, what's a good company that tariffs are going to wildly? I'm surprised Amazon, to be honest. And I think Amazon earnings are really interesting today because Amazon is going to be one of those companies. Like Amazon, like I'll put it this way: a lot of the products you buy on Amazon are made in China. You like what happens with Amazon is there's something called Amazon FBA is what it's called. You got a bunch of nonsense gurus selling tons of nonsense courses on this stuff, but it's like, again, they're just kind of scamming people with Amazon FBA courses. Basically, what people do is they go on a website called Alibaba, which allows you to kind of haggle with people in China over products that they make, right? So you can go on Alibaba and say, hey, I want to buy 5 gallons of tea tree oil, you know, and they'll say $1,000, and I'll say no, $700, and they'll say deal, and they send me my 5 gallons of tea tree oil, and then I put them in my own little packages. I slap John's tea tree oil on the package, and then I throw it up on Amazon for $20 for a little vial of it or whatever. I don't know. This is just an example. This is obviously exaggerated. You can't, like, it's going to be much less than $20 for a vial of tea tree oil. But the point remains, right? This is what they do. This is how they make money. And so most of the products you get on Amazon are sold in that exact way. And I know some of you might be thinking, oh, well, this sounds like a great business idea. It's incredibly saturated. The trends change so quickly. Fidget spinners used to sell for 40 or 50 bucks. People would buy them on Alibaba from China and get them shipped here, sell them for 40, 50 bucks. They were rolling in money for a couple months, and then it became so saturated, gas stations started selling fidget spinners for $2. And, you had all these Amazon sellers that were sitting on boatloads of these products, of this inventory, that they now couldn't sell for anywhere near what they paid for it. And this is pretty universally true for most products on Amazon. In fact, most people make more money selling courses on how to sell on FBA than they do from actually selling on FBA. And if you go look at websites like flippa.com, you see a bunch of people trying to offload their Amazon FBA businesses because they're not making money anymore. And you can look at the long-term graphs, and the long-term graphs are just like an avalanche down. And that's the problem. And really, people act like gurus, and this guru culture sparks up, and they're faking rich. They're pretending to be rich. They're taking pictures with a bunch of fancy cars. They're talking other gullible people into thinking that they're super wealthy from Amazon when really they're not. They're wealthy from selling courses on how to do Amazon. And it's just it's very similar to day trading, to be honest, right? Like, it's very similar to day trading. Anyways, that was kind of like an ADHD side rant. But the point is, Amazon should be affected by the tariffs more than almost any other company, because a lot of their products come from overseas, right? A lot of their products come from overseas. And so tariffs on us is going to mean, and tariffs on imports is going to mean Amazon gets more expensive. No? And so I'm surprised we haven't seen more of like a big, like, Amazon looks like everything else does, really. And today's earnings is even more important in that regard. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, drop shipping is pretty common too, 100%. But even that's incredibly saturated, and most people make money selling courses on how to drop ship. Again, I'm here to tell you this, guys. Listen, you want to make money, follow what big money actually does, okay? If it's one of the generic business ideas that's regurgitated on the internet regularly, it's probably not going to freaking work, right? Like, again, I hear affiliate advertising. I hear affiliate advertising thrown out a lot on the internet as some great business idea. And again, I'm going to put this into perspective. This is coming from someone who has made millions affiliate marketing, right? Like, I've genuinely made a good bit of money affiliate marketing, but the only reason I do is because I have a following, guys. Like, I have a following of people that watch me regularly. And so them selling the affiliate marketing idea to regular Joe on the street, it's not going to work for him because he doesn't have a following. And that's the context they don't tell you. They act like you can just start promoting products to your friends and like you're going to get rich. You're not. You got to have a big following. It's basically social media marketing. And you could do it. It can make tons of money. But I digress back to the point, which is that, it's not as easy as the internet makes it out to be. Yeah, look up where big money puts their money. That's what you want to do. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, they target the desperate is what they target. And I get it. Like, I had to learn this the hard way. Like, I was once a young 20-year-old that wanted to make money on the internet, that was researching all this stuff. Like, I was once that person. Like, I understand. And that's the only reason I know what I know now about it is because I was once that guy. Again, drop shipping is going to be hard to really make money doing it. Most people make money selling educational content on drop shipping than they do from actually drop shipping. Same is said for Amazon FBA. Affiliate marketing can be profitable if you have a decent following, right? But it still can be profitable. You have to have a following. You can't do it if you don't have followers or like a huge network of people. It's kind of like, people selling multi-level marketing things, right? Like, I always try to tell them the same thing, which is that, you know, you should never sell for a multi-level marketing company. And people are going to say, well, why not? Like, the only people that really make money doing that are people that have a huge network of people around them. And the reality of it is, if you have a huge network of people around you, there's much more legitimate, better, more profitable ways to make money around that network, like being a real estate agent, selling cars, right? Like, you can make millions selling cars if you have a big enough network. Like, if you've got a big enough network, you don't need to sell pyramid scheme multi-level marketing products, right? Like, you got a following, like a network. You don't need to do that. And if you like, so people just get wrapped up in all this stuff and thinking that most of the time multi-level marketing, they target people who are just, they're desperate for success and they want to look successful. And so they give them like some fancy name as their career path. Like, they're like, yeah, this is a whatever they name their business, you know. This is a product coordinator for John's, you know, lollipops, whatever it is. Anyways. Right, there's better ways that make money than all that stuff. Like, people have to understand, like, if you can make money doing MLM, like, you can make more money doing something else. But people just get wrapped up in it. Like, dude, marketing has gotten so good with technology. Like, technology is what's grown it, right? Like, technology has gotten good, editing's gotten better, marketing material has gotten better, and it's just easier, you know? It's easier to slang that stuff now, you know? All right, guys. Hey, we got 30 minutes left. 30 minutes left. Still. Over 600 here already. Well, Tupperware was genuinely useful. I don't know if it was MLM either. I think it was just door-to-door sales, which back then the internet wasn't around, and so that was a little bit more understandable with door-to-door sales because the internet wasn't around. You couldn't market things, so you had to go door-to-door. It was kind of like mass marketing before the internet. And so I can't really knock that, actually. Like, that's fine, you know. Yeah, what's up, Melody? Yeah. In the 80s and 90s was mostly before the internet, you know, before the internet was big enough to market. Amazon drops after market. Yeah, Amazon earnings today, incredibly relevant and important, of course. Today we got Roblox in the morning. So we had Eli Lilly come out early this morning. They beat EPS, beat revenue. Roblox, still waiting on them. They're supposed to drop right now. So Roblox should be releasing their earnings right now. Let's see what they do here. Look at Amazon pop. Market just ripped up a little bit. Here's Roblox. Oh, look at Roblox. It's down big. It's at $50 a share, $52 a share for Roblox. Ralph Lauren posted 466 versus 449, better than expected EPS and revenue. So Ralph Lauren, Roblox posted a 33-cent loss per share. How is Roblox losing money, though, is my problem. Like, genuinely. How is Roblox losing money? I genuinely don't understand. Like, how is Roblox losing money? Can anybody answer that question? Like, bro, my son plays Roblox, dude. Roblox, like, they've got to be rolling in money, dude. They're a software company. And so, you know, there's not, like, I get it, there's some expenses. But how are they losing money still? Look, there's Roblox's earnings right there. Okay, good, Pawn. Good to hear, man. Bank of England Deputy Governor Ramsden says gold stock held at the Bank of England has fallen by around. Gold stock held at the Bank of England has fallen by around 2% since the end of last year. Look at Roblox, though. Hit $50 a share. Less users, maybe, but it still should be profitable enough to, like Roblox should be profitable enough considering the, my son plays Roblox. It costs money. Like it's definitely pay to win in Roblox. Like, you got to pay for all your souped up stuff. And so how are they not making money here? Let me see Roblox's EPS graph. I mean, they're still losing tons of money, dude. They only lost 33 cents. But how are they losing this much money? And if they are losing this much money, why would they ever go public in the first place? What's their revenue like? Their revenue is substantially getting better. Look at, here's Roblox revenue over time. So their revenue is getting better. Growth is slowing a little bit, but it's not bad. Yeah, guys, so like, I don't know if all of y'all understand Roblox. So Roblox is a marketplace of games. So, like, it's kind of like Minecraft, where, like, you have Minecraft, but then there's all these different, like, side games, and, like it's like a marketplace of games. And I'm sure some of the games are kind of off, like any marketplace with anything. But, yeah, you just got to have good parental controls. Yeah. Like, we just never let my son talk to anybody unless it's friends. Even when he talks to his friends, he's usually on the phone with them instead of, like, voice chatting them on the Xbox. Hindenburg tried to warn us. Did they do a short report on Roblox? Hindenburg closed down. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this before, but, like, all right, guys, we got 21 minutes, 22 minutes. I talked about this before, but so, my daughter and I and my son now love the show Catfish, right? Catfish is like our thing. We like watch it. We haven't watched it in a while, but we love Catfish, which is basically about people pretending to be other people online, right? And I think it's very important, and I genuinely recommend, like, if you got like a teenager or like a young kid, not a young kid, but if you got like an older kid or a teenager, let them watch that show. There's some stuff off with it, so use your own decision-making ability to figure out if they're old enough to watch it. But it's good because it teaches them how people pretend to be others online. And so we always tell my daughter, we're like, look, dude, you might have like the most handsome kid ever on social media, and he might be like, hey, what's up? And you might be even like flattered by it all, like, oh my gosh, this kid, look how handsome he is. It might be some 70-year-old, it might be some 65-year-old man named Steve, and so just be weary of it. And her watching that show made her at least realize how much like fakes there are on the internet, like how many people are pretending to be other people on the internet. Like, I get people that try to send me friend requests on social media all the time that I don't know. And unfortunately, like, sometimes they'll use like pretty girls and like really like scantily dressed girls. And it's something like I kind of see some other people fall for it, right? Like, it's kind of like a ignorance is bliss kind of thing. Like, they want to believe that this pretty girl's interested in them, so they add like all these like profiles to their Facebook page. I think they think that it makes them look more like desirable if they've got pretty girls that are on their friends list on social media or following them on Instagram. But a lot of them are not. Like, a lot of them are really genuinely just scammers trying to steal your information. So yeah, just be smart, guys. Let's see if Roblox bouncing back. It's up to 57 right now. 57. It's always Steve, bro. Steve, Yeah, I agree. I don't don't know if they do that, Sam. I think it's a very common theme in video games lately has been what's called play to win or pay to win, which means that like you could have a certain layout that's generic that you start with, right? But if you pay more, you could have like a lot more powerful layout that'll help you win more games. You just got to pay for it. And so what the net effect of that is that the people that end up paying more money in the game win more. And, you know, the people who don't want to pay that money lose more and get frustrated and leave, you know. And that's very common in modern video games, especially like mobile applications, but in most video games as well. Yeah. Yeah, so they're still thinking we're going to pause rates in March. I think this might be subject to change, though. All right, look at Amazon popping up. The NASDAQ still coming back. So the NASDAQ is still technically green on the day, chat. Technically green on the day. Love the side rant. Learn something. Hey, this is what I'm here for, man. Like, some people are going to complain no matter what. And you learn this in other channels. Like so many people trying to like be critical. It's like, dude, I tell people I'm the worst trader ever. I was telling my wife about this. It's like, dude, I tell people I'm the worst trader ever. Yet somebody still has the audacity to try to like critique my trades and like act like I'm, you know, like you could tell they're just secretly just mad about life, you know. Keep being mad, guys. Listen, just keep being mad. AMD thoughts. I don't know. AMD is down a lot. I look at AMD relative to highs, right? Highs of AMD are at 227s, 230s basically for AMD. We're back down to almost $100 a share. That's a pretty big drop. So there might be some value in AMD down here. Like I don't hate that thesis. Like AMD, when I look at it relative to highs, you know, it was up there. Now, this was obscenely high for AMD, of course, but maybe this pullback has some value. I don't know. I think it depends on what the microchip market does. I think the microchip market is going to influence these stocks. And so I think generally long term, again, not an investment professional. Don't copy me. I might be wrong. This is not financial advice. I have no idea what I'm talking about. And I might be wildly wrong about anything I say. I'm not liable if you lose. With that said, though, I think long term down here, AMD's probably fine. But we might pull back big in between that. Like I think we could correct sometime this year, and I think if the correction happens, it's going to be a big one. I don't even know if it's going to be a big one. I think if the correction happens, it's going to drag the rest of the Magnificent Seven stocks down, and so AMD might be affected by that. But I think long term, it's probably fine. But who knows? Again, I could always be wrong here. What do you guys think? In the end, I think like DCAing is probably the move that I would make. Like I would just dollar cost average over a period of time. The other issue though is whether AMD is going to be able to be competitive in the future with its products. I think a lot of people are speculating on that recently. I saw this a lot during the earnings release for them. Is AMD's products going to be rendered obsolete from technological advancements in the other companies? Thoughts on Reddit? Hard to monetize. Wildly overpriced. To me. They can't be profitable, can they? Let me see. See, I can't even find Reddit's EPS. I see the income statement, the 1-year price history. I can't even find Reddit's EPS graph. They're still losing money, though. Okay. Let me check somewhere else. Yeah, so let me see. But I would assume Reddit's just wildly overpriced. 221 a share. I don't even think Reddit. I'm trying to look it up. Let me see. I'm sure somebody's answered me in the chat. But yeah, Reddit is still losing money. You know, their last EPS was 0. They expected profit. The one before that was 16. So like they're not making nearly enough money to be $200+ a share, in all honesty, for Reddit. Let me do a poll. I realize I haven't done a poll. My bad, guys. We got 15 minutes. Are you bullish or bearish on today's opening bell is what I'm going to ask. Bullish or bearish on today's opening bell, guys. Let me know how you feel. They will capitalize in the CPU market. Maybe. Dr. Jerome Powell, Fed. All right, guys. 12 minutes, 12 minutes. All right, chat. Anything else moving this morning? I'm looking at the news. We had earnings. Bank of England. So we're doing the Bank of England speech right now. So let's take a look at like gold. Gold's been breaking freaking lifetime highs, dude. It's at 2880s right now, 2880s. Again, so the Bank of England Governor Bailey says that it's important for the rate path to be based on economic fundamentals and reiterated that he thinks that the path for disinflation remains in place. Here's the link to that. We also had some Redfin home sales data coming out too. Redfin says new listing of U.S. homes for sale at plus 8% almost year over year during the 4 weeks ending in February 2nd. 5 months of supply on the market, previous 4.4 months a year ago, and the most in 6 years. Supermicro Semiconductors earnings next Tuesday. Yeah. Why did ARM drop if the report was good? Because just because it has a good report doesn't always mean it goes up. Sometimes we get like the opposite. Sometimes we have a good report and they go down. Sometimes earnings reactions are just nonsensical. Yeah, jobless claims is at 8:30 in about 11 minutes, chat. 11 minutes for jobless claims. So yeah, Ralph Lauren raises their annual revenue. Is Polo still as strong? Like I grew up, like y'all have to understand the context of when I grew up. I grew up in like the 2000s, and there was a time in like the mid to late 2000s that, man, look at my hair today. There was a time in the mid to late 2000s that Polo was like the brand. I don't know if I'm just from the South, and so like maybe it was just in the South. But, like, has Polo fallen off a little bit? Like, has it become less cool? I still wear Polo shirts, right? I mean, they're $100 a pop for a Polo shirt, but I still wear them. Have they fallen off? Are they still as cool as they were when I was a young person? Wearing a cap all day. I don't know. I disagree. Bro. They say balding comes from your mother's father, right? My mother's dad was bald at like 25, right? I'm in my 30s, and I've got a lot of hair, almost too much hair. It's almost like too thick to where it's super frizzy and thick all the time. I'm just glad to have hair at this point. I'm just grateful for what I got. I don't know. Not as cool. I think, yeah, I think it's losing some interest. You mean the old man golf shirts? It hurts, man. It hurts, dude. I'm saying relative to 10 years ago. I definitely don't want to know what's cool anymore. Yeah, I definitely don't. Yeah, it's all good, Pawn. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just glad to have hair. I got a lot of friends that, you know, bald is beautiful. I'm not mad at it, you know. But I like my hair. Had to admit defeat this week. Got the Clippers out. Yeah, dude. Honestly, it's about time for me to get a haircut too. Yeah, I guess so. All right, chat. Roblox is down almost 20%. Yeah, Roblox down to like 50. What? Last time I looked, it was like 57s. Oh, there it is. 59s. Here's the SPY. SPY's still moving up pretty green. NASDAQ less green. Some tech stocks are dragging it down some here. Bro, I get people that tell me I look like freaking everybody, dude. I have heard I look like Ryan Felipe, Forrest Griffin, the guy from the show that you just mentioned, Peter, whatever, Sutherland. I've heard it all. I've heard a bunch of different ones. Paul Felder, I've heard that one. Some guy said I look like, wait, what was his name? Something, hold on, let me see. I searched for it yesterday. Some red-haired version of something. Yeah, I don't know who the red-headed guy is. Anyways, guys, hey, we got 7 minutes left. Little baby 7 minutes. Jamie Foxx, I can see it, bro. That's it. I see that. You think I look like? Wait, what's the red-haired guy? Who's the little guy from Without a Paddle? He was in oh, dude, I just can't think of it. Austin Powers. Canelo Alvarez. I've heard Canelo. Seth Green. Yeah. It's better than Forrest Griffin, I guess. You know. Cat Williams. Oh, I can see it too, bro. Listen. Cat Williams has got some of the greatest comedy ever. His old stuff's always better, of course. But, like, Cat Williams, you know, he's on par with, like, Chappelle. Yeah, I saw the Challenger job cuts. 49,000 versus 38,000. I think the market might actually want less people working, though, right now because of inflation fears. I think the market fears inflation 100%. And like, I think they're going to react to economic data in the same, you know, correlation. Like, they're gonna react negatively to economic growth and positively to economic weakness because of inflation fears. I think, right? It's never 100%. I don't really know. But that's what I'm assuming the reaction is. You know, I think they're going to have better than expected, worse than expected. I'm not sure. Cheddar Bob. Yeah, I know. Cody Garbrandt? Really? Dude, apparently I'm like the most generic looking person ever because I look like freaking everybody, apparently. That's a new one. I haven't heard Cody before. Cody just lost his chin, bro. I feel for him. He got into too many wars, lost his chin. I'm also like, yeah, he just lost his chin. I like Cody, though. He throws hands. I like it. Higher jobless claims. I think the market might actually react positively to higher jobless claims. I don't know for sure, though. Pure speculation. What do you guys think? Looking at our poll numbers, 72% are bullish after the opening bell. 28% are bearish. Yeah, Shane's funny. Cat Williams is definitely one of the goes right there with Chappelle. Yeah, I haven't seen his new stuff, Jeff, but he's good. He's funny. His old stuff's great. This that Crypticana, you know. I like Cat Williams. He's funny. All right, guys. Hey, 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. We got gold at 28.80s. You're bullish on the NASDAQ with the news then? I'm not bullish or bearish. I don't know. I don't know how the market's going to respond to this. I really don't. Genuinely no idea. So with non-farm payrolls tomorrow, yeah, that's a big release. NFP data is huge. It's huge. So tomorrow's NFP report is going to be like really, really, really important. Like monstrously important. NFP data. So jobless claims, unemployment filings are what's dropping today. So we got jobless claims, unemployment filings dropping today. Big release. Not as big as tomorrow's unemployment and non-farm payroll report, but big nonetheless. And then next week we have Jerome Powell speaking again in the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress. I think he's speaking with the Senate on Tuesday, which would mean Wednesday he's speaking with the House, or Monday he's speaking with the House. He's going to speak with the House as well sometime. He's got to speak to both sides of Congress, and that might influence markets as well. But yeah, markets are up ahead of jobless claims numbers. Chat, markets are up today ahead of jobless claims. We did have the Bank of England rate decision where they cut rates 25 basis points earlier, on par with expectations. Wasn't a shock. Yeah, the VIX is down a little bit today too, which means like a little bit lower volatility. Probably kind of healing from the big tariff volatility that we've seen early in the week. All right, chat, we got 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. All right, guys, you ready? Last minute predictions, higher or lower, chat? Higher or lower than expected? Like, really, I look like my dad. You want to know who I actually look like? I look like my dad. All right, chat, 2 minutes. All right, you guys ready? Oof. All right, chat. We got 2 minutes. Where's the Hulk picture? I got it somewhere. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. I look like my dad. That's my dad. That's me. I got a hockey shirt on. But yeah, I look like him. For sure. All right, guys. Hey, we got 2.5 minutes. Or 1.5 minutes, I mean. Hey, John, I don't want this question to sound like how to get rich in 30 days question, but how can we follow big money? I'll answer that after jobless claims numbers drop in about 1.5 minutes. All right, guys. Hey, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Hey, thanks, Lolo. Appreciate it. All right, guys. We got 1,400 here. 1,400. We still got 1 minute left. It's your dad, Jim Miller. Do I look like Jim Miller, too, apparently? Jim Miller's a freaking savage, though, bro. That dude is a beast. Dude's getting older. He's got Lyme disease. He's still going out there just beating everybody up, dude, at his age. All right, guys. Hey, we got 30, 35, 40 seconds left. All right, chat. Here we go. Jobless claims unemployment. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, 20 seconds here, chat. Let's see what jobless claims gives us here. Expected at 214,000, 214K. We also have non-farm productivity as well. Here we go. This timer's a little bit early. We still got about 9 minutes left. 9 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the report right here, chat. Non-farm productivity showed up lower than expected on both fronts. Non-farm productivity lower than expected on both fronts. Still waiting for the jobless claims number to show up. 219, higher than expected jobless claims. 219 versus 214 expected. Higher than expected jobless claims, signaling more people filing for unemployment here. And the NASDAQ is up on this. The SPY hasn't really reacted. Let's look at something like the NQ. Again, data came in at 219 versus 214 expected. 219 versus 214 expected. 1.2% non-farm productivity versus 1.5% expected. Unit labor costs showed up at 3% versus 3.4%, and continuing claims showed up at 1.886 million versus 1.87 million expected. So again, lower than expected jobless claims. Or I'm sorry, higher than expected jobless claims by a small margin here. Guys, by a small margin. Love you. Have a good day. And market has so far slightly reacted negatively to this. Slightly reacted negatively. Gold at 28.80s here, chat. 28.80s. Yeah, it did fall. And so, you know, I don't know. Maybe this is the first reaction is the wrong move here. But slightly higher than expected. We'll put these numbers up on screen. Again, jobless claims 219 versus 213 expected. Higher than expected. We'll put this up on screen here. All right, there's the data release right here on screen, chat. Let's see if the market holds now. Again, the NASDAQ's fallen down slightly here, very slightly. Bearish for cuts? No, I mean, these numbers actually signal more of a need to cut, not less. And so it's bullish for cuts, but bearish for the economy. Right? Like higher than expected jobless claim signals less people working, potentially less people spending, in that regard, less economic growth. Higher unemployment is essentially what this means. But what it does mean is that the likelihood for a rate cut goes up a little bit. It's not. I'm not saying it's actually likely or probable, but it's more likely or more probable, if that makes sense, for rate cuts. And again, jobless claims numbers showed up slightly higher than expected at 219 versus 213 expected. Continuing claims showed up at 1.886 million versus 1.874 million. So continuing claims actually a little lower than expected, or no, actually higher than expected on both fronts. I'm sorry. Non-farm productivity showed up lower as well. So interesting here. We'll see if the first move's the wrong move, though, when we get a bounce. Thumbs up for real-time news. Hey, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. We try over here, man. We try. Again, if you want to help support free content, listen, we cover all this news as soon as it happens in real time every single morning. If you want to know if something's going on in the economy and the market and finance and stocks and trading and futures, we're going to cover it here. We're one of the most consistent people out here, and that's why we get, that's why we grow. But again, if you want to help support us, check out TopStep. TopStep gives you a demo, and they test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. The base one, they give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K in profit on the 50K demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, and they paid out almost $200 million since 2020. They fund thousands of traders. They pay out almost $200 million in actual withdrawals. And it's the best way, in my opinion. I'm biased, they pay me money. But it's the best way, in my opinion, to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose. If you risk 5, 10, 20, 30 grand yourself, you're probably going to lose. That's objectively true. Most day traders lose. TopStep gives you a cheaper way with less risk. They give you a 50K demo. It's $49 a month for the base one. If you can pass the test with the 50K demo, and to pass it, you got to make 3K without losing 2K in profit. If to pass it, you get a 50K funded account with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit. If you fail, you only lose the $49. It's the best of both worlds, and it's a way to have a middle ground of pressure where you're risking something, but you're not risking the full extent of, 10, 20, 30 grand like most day traders end up losing, or at least risking when they first get started. So it's the best of both worlds in that regard, in my opinion. And most day traders lose, chat. Most day traders lose. I think that's the same here. Most day traders are going to lose, but frankly, it's a lot cheaper to lose here usually than it is to try elsewhere. And on TopStep X, there's also zero commission. So there's zero commission, only a tiny amount of fees per trade. And so you can actually kind of like trade small and kind of learn how to trade a little bit better. And again, I'll put the link up if you want to check it out. The link is in chat right now. Again, they pay me money. I am biased. Just a great middle ground of pressure, kind of like a souped up demo account. If you want to check it out, here's the link. Your wealth of info, and I love your content. Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, I think the Fed fears inflation for sure. Always here for the Fed news first. Hey, thanks so much. All right, guys. So we are at 21,770s. Nvidia bouncing back. Today, the NASDAQ will be flat. Wall Street waiting for Amazon. Yeah, Amazon earnings are this evening. We're going to stream the whole thing live. And so we are going to stream all of this live when it happens. So just be ready, chat. We're going to stream this all live right here on YouTube. And then today we got non-farm payrolls coming out, chat. Non-farm payrolls data. Are you guys bullish on non-farm payrolls? Yeah, payroll's coming out today. I'm tempted to trade a little bit. Let me make sure I can. Hold on. Yeah, Amazon today, guys. Expecting 152 EPS on a 187.28 billion in revenue. All right, so here's the NASDAQ on screen right here. So I'll put the main screen, full screen. There it goes. So yeah, here's the NASDAQ. Yeah, non-farm payrolls are tomorrow. Unemployment data is tomorrow. Nvidia is rising today, guys. Look at Nvidia pop. It's at 127s. Can y'all not hear the music? Yeah, it wasn't my dad and I fishing. My dad's a falconer, so he hunts with falcons. And so that was us hunting. I appreciate the love, guys. Thanks so much. Yeah, maybe the first move was the wrong move in the news. Nvidia's still turning up, though. Look at Nvidia. VIX is still down a little bit on the day. ARM had earnings yesterday. Tesla down to 370s. Looks weak. Music is very low. Is that better? Let me know if you can hear it now. You should be able to. Hey, what's up, going with the wind? All right, guys. AMD at 111s here. We're still pretty stagnant here. We're still pretty sideways. Not really doing much. Oh, yeah, the big money thing. Sorry, guys. So how do you follow big money? Well, you look at institutional holdings, like what companies are holding in terms of their investments. You know, you just do your research. Like, you look at what companies are investing in. There's a lot of sites that will give you detailed information about where big money's going, what big money things. You also have to stay on kind of the forefront of technological advancements. Typically, we get big tech revolutions, you know, at least a couple times every decade. Like just in the last decade, I can think of an array of different ones. AI, specifically crypto, in the last 10 or 15 years. And that's usually something that big money takes advantage of to a certain extent. You also have to look at, you know, big money. Okay, something that retail traders do that big money doesn't. Penny stock trading. Like, big money's not penny stock trading, regardless of whether they make you believe they are or not. And so you just got to try to figure out what big money's doing. And again, there's a lot of different ways you can. I would say institutional holdings, a good way to do it. There's a lot of websites that show you where big money's heading, where politicians are investing, what they're doing, what they think is going to happen. And it really is a situation where you can't really do what they say. You got to do what they do. Right. So like an example of this, and I always give this example, but it's a good one. And it really kind of reinforces what I'm trying to say. If you look at the NASDAQ here, right here, Goldman Sachs and a bunch of other people told you guys it was the end of the world, that the market was about to crash and burn. And a lot of people regurgitated this thesis back to me. A lot of people told me right here, they made fun of me for being bullish. They made fun of me for being long. They made fun of me for telling them that we didn't have to crash right here. Yet, when you look at a lot of the big banks at this one period of time right here, they were super bearish. They were telling everybody it was the end of the world and all this crazy stuff was going to happen and blah, 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 right? People got mad at me. They would make fun of me and do all this different stuff when I was optimistic and bullish after this big pullback. And my logic at the time was that my logic here at the time, like if we condense this a little bit, my logic here was that we've pulled back so much. We've already dipped for basically an entire year from 2022 to 2023. We're down a lot at this point already. There's only been a couple times in history where we've bear trended for longer than a year or two. And so in terms of like edge, the edge was on the upside. But if you looked at all the big banks, most of them were bearish. They were telling everybody. But when you look at what they actually did, a lot of them were buying up stuff, right? A lot of them were buying up stuff. And so I don't know if they use traders for like liquidity or what, but I guess the point is do what they do, not what they say, because they might tell you it's not good or it's bad or whatever, but you got to try to figure out what they're actually doing. And that might make it a little bit easier. Let me catch back up on the chat. Yeah, big hedges, investors have to disclose what they're holding. Well, if you think big money wasn't in Palantir, you're wrong, Ty. Big money, some big money certainly was. It's not all, it doesn't have to be the most generic like hedge funds or big banks. You were always bullish. I mean, I don't know if I'm always bullish. I actually sold most of my positions and I'm flat right now. And I've been this way if you've been paying attention, which it doesn't seem like you have. I haven't really been interested in buying up anything over the last couple months, specifically because I think we're up 105% on the NASDAQ in the last 2 years. And I think like generally the market needs to correct a little bit in terms of healthiness. But maybe I'm wrong. And the biggest edge is up on the upside. Like bearish traders always get kind of like butthurt because they're trying to top pick the healthiest companies in the world. They're romanticizing the Big Short and Michael Burry, and they're trying to top pick the strongest companies in the world. And so when the market keeps going up, 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 they get madder and madder and madder and madder. The reality of it is the longer you hold a short position, the less likely you are to make money. The longer you hold a long, and this is specifically in terms of like indexes and the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow, the longer you hold that on the long side, the more likely you are to make money. Using a century of statistical data. And so, it's not that I'm always bullish. It's that most of the time being bullish is the right thing. We were talking, like we were listening to Dolby on Top Step TV the other day when we were on stream with them on Top Step TV. And Dolby says he almost never shorts the NASDAQ, even day trading, right? And it makes sense because most of the time it's pushing up. Again, but you got people that like, they idolize some of these big short traders. They romanticize the Big Short. They try to top pick the healthiest companies in the world. And I think it's just kind of dumb. It's just not smart. Now, I might have moments of time where I'm not interested in buying. Like right now, like I think things are a little bit too extended. But there's a big difference between slowing down my, holdings, reducing my balance, or reducing my investments, versus trying to top pick the healthiest companies in the world. That's dumb for the most part. And maybe some people can do it successfully. I'm not even claiming that nobody can do it, right? There's some people that might be able to do it successfully, but I think it's so rare that when they do it successfully, they make movies about it like The Big Short because it's so freaking difficult to do. The overarching point I'm trying to make is that it's not where the big shorting the healthiest companies in the world is not where the strong edge is in markets, and it's not what big money essentially does. Big money almost never does that. So if we're talking about following big money, you know. Right, for sure. I've been saying that for a month and a half now. But that's my point, is that, like, look, the reality of it is, I think people get misled really easily. I think the exciting thing to do is short. Everybody wants to be contrarian and feel like they know something that nobody else does, right? And YouTubers end up taking this stance a lot, and so you see YouTubers telling everybody to sell. But, like, the problem is that a lot of these guys have told you to sell about 20 times in the last 2 years. If you actually go back and check their videos, a lot of them have been telling you the market was going to crash for 5, 6, 7 years. And so even if we do crash now, you're still going to probably be above where they told you we would crash, regardless of anything. And I think that that chips away at people over time, too. And so I'm never going to tell anybody else to sell. Certainly not going to tell anybody else to short anything, because that's just dumb, right? The big edge is on the long side. And even if we do crash between now and whenever, over the next couple decades, we're almost certain to be green from it anyway. And that's the big edge. That's what big money understands better than anybody. Compound interest, long-term investing into blue chip healthy companies and indices is the way to build wealth, like generational wealth. Retail traders that want to short every big top, or, you know, they just don't really understand. Bears sound smart, bulls make money. Yeah. Yeah, so some other ways to follow big money, guys. Track 13F filings. Hedge funds and institutional holdings. That was the number one thing I said. And it's important because they have to file this. They have to tell you what they're holding. So track 13F filings and hedge funds and institutions. Large institutions that manage over 100 million must file 13F reports. And so if you want to see what they're doing, check the 13F filing, see what they're holding. You can go to Fintel, Hedge Follow, Whale Wisdom, Strong Track. You want to look at, I would look at Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, Pershing Square Capital. I would look at those. Those are the most successful ones. There is a little bit of a lag, though, and so you just want to be careful about the lag in 13F filings. You can monitor unusual options activities. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I don't know how accurate this is. You can watch dark pool trading. Dark pools, private exchanges, institutions trades without moving public markets. You can follow insider buying and selling. So watch what CEOs, CFOs, board members are doing in terms of investing. Check Form 4 filings. Economic data, Fed Reserve. That'll lead you to what Feds might do and markets might do. So, yeah. Mergers and acquisitions, buybacks, all that stuff. Those are all ways to follow big money. All right, chat. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely controlled. 100%. Makes sense. It absolutely is. And the way I always look at it is you were speaking the truth this morning. I hope people are listening. Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it hurts for them to hear because they are those people that are trying to top pick the healthiest companies in the world. And they keep losing and they don't understand it and they're crying manipulation, right? Nobody screams manipulation more than somebody that's wildly wrong about a short, you know? Nobody cries it more than somebody that's wildly wrong about a market prediction. But again, people have to understand nothing's definitive. So people acting like we have to crash shows a lack of understanding. And so nothing's guaranteed. You always just gotta take that context into everything with finance. Nothing's guaranteed. You don't know if anything is going to go up, down, or sideways. Now you might have a strong edge or a weak edge or an A+ or a D- setup, but in the end, probabilities play out long term. Short term, there's variance. All right, guys, so we're rejecting at this level at 2170 60s. I do have a little urge to get into some trades here. Yeah, I think we correct sometime this year or next, but I might be wrong. Like, again, I always try to take it with a grain of salt. I could certainly be wrong here. I have no idea if, like, I think we need to correct. It's not that I think we're going to correct. I think it needs to happen. Now, there's a difference between whether something needs to happen and whether it actually happens or not. That's my stance, is that a correction needs to happen. It's healthy for it to happen right now. If it doesn't, then we might be due for an even bigger event later down the line. He's now open to cannabis legalization if done the right way. Yeah, but when does it happen? Like, every politician has said that they support cannabis legalization. It's a really ironic thing where you see none of them actually do it. On either side, none of them actually do it. They act like they want it to get the voters, and then they take the PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry and you know, big money talks, and then it just doesn't happen. Too many lobbyists against it. So I'm going to be skeptical until I see something that makes me not skeptical. It's not that I want it to happen just because I think my tax dollars are getting wasted on law enforcement and to a certain, I listen, I appreciate law enforcement. Okay, I'm not criticizing law enforcement. In terms of cannabis, we're wasting tax dollars. There's much more objectively harmful substances that we should be policing over cannabis. Cannabis, objectively less harmful than alcohol. On the same, like, coffee is a drug, right? Like, we can label anything good or bad, but yeah. Yeah, I want it to happen because my tax dollars are getting wasted on it. Right, exactly, Sam. Yeah, so whether it needs to happen or whether it happens is a different thing. Correction is typically defined as like a 10% or more drop in markets. Crash is like a 20-25% or more drop fast. So it depends. Yeah, I see people talking about bonds a lot today. Bonds at 90.15. For the TLT bonds. Now, these are bond prices. That means yields are going to be down. So this is actually a hawkish, or I'm sorry, a dovish move here. So TLT is shooting up, which means the underlying yields are going down, and yields and interest rates have a positive correlation. So if bonds are going up, it means yields are going down, and it means interest rates are going down to a certain extent, potentially. Like, that's the logic you use. Yields and interest rates follow each other. And so if yields spike, interest rates are going up. If yields go down, interest rates are going down with it. And bond prices and yields have an inverse correlation as well. And so if bond prices are going up, it means yields are going down. And in that regard, interest rates are going to be a little bit more dovish, potentially, probably on the higher jobless claims report is what I'm guessing here. Higher jobless claims, weaker economy, more of justification for cuts. Doesn't mean we're going to cut, but that's the logic. I hope all that makes sense. Yeah, Texas, yeah. Angel says, agree, but in Texas, it's not going to happen. Yeah, for sure. Well, Texas, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The irony of people in Texas. A lot of people in Texas don't realize, like, Texas is stereotyped as freedom, Texas, you know. There's not even ballot initiatives here, which means that, like, the people can't control their own destiny politically, right? Like, we have to have some other guy make our decisions for us, and he's getting money from all these different areas, and so he's making decisions based off of the money he's getting from big corporations and not based off of what the people actually want. And so it's ironic that people correlate Texas with freedom when, you know, you can't even choose your own destiny in that regard by voting. You got to make some, you got to, yeah, it's just ironic, I think. Taxes are good in Texas, except for property taxes, though. Property taxes are high. NASDAQ push it up. It's at 21.7s. 21.7s. Look at the NASDAQ pop here, chat. All right. Let's see what we get. So, yeah, unemployment claims are out. Yeah, I never said taxes were bad. I said in Texas, taxes are good outside of property taxes. Property taxes are obscenely high here in a lot of places, so it just depends on where you live. I'm sure in other places it's worse, but there's no state income tax, which is good. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because people think that criminalizing cannabis is going to protect people, and it's actually going to do the opposite. It's going to make it much more dangerous. People are going to consume it regardless, and like the reason it's a gateway drug is because you have to go to an illegal drug dealer to get it, and then eventually he's going to offer whomever other stuff, and thus it's a gateway drug, right? If you legalized it, it wouldn't. I'm not saying it wouldn't be that way, but it would be much less like that. And that's an argument nobody wants to look at, especially people who are against it. And again, I don't use that. Like I have to work. Like I couldn't do that stuff if I worked as much as I do. Somebody accused me the other day of being stoned or something, and I tried to tell him, I'm like, dude, I get up every morning at 5 a.m. like clockwork. I'm one of the most consistent people on the internet, definitely top 3-ish. I don't think I'd be able to do that if I did stuff like that, to be honest. But the logic still remains, Yeah, tax it, man. I'm a capitalist. Tax that stuff, man. All right, anyways, we're still confirming the support and resistance level. I'm going to make this 2 different levels, though, because I think this is the real level, and we're just kind of tipping over it a little bit. But I want to look at both of these spots just to be safe. I'm going to document both of these levels. Bonds pulling back. Where's yields at right now? So if we look at yields, here's long-term bonds. Yields are down, bonds are up. Okay, that makes sense. Again, looking at NVIDIA here, guys. NVIDIA's been popping. And I know ACB, which is a cannabis stock, had their earnings yesterday, I think. Or 5:30s. Yeah, definitely top 3-ish. Yeah. Well, Jonathan, the first one has almost no chance of getting approved. The second one would be kind of crazy, but, I've seen crazier things happen. All right, guys, so we're testing this top level that we just drew here. We popped right above it. Now we have a little bit of a gap here. Let's see what else we got. We got a little level here, I guess. Let's document this low. I'm going to take this level out and push this up just a tad bit, like right there. I think makes sense. Yeah. Now let's see if we pull back to this level here at 772s.
Yeah, I think alcohol destroys more lives than, almost anything else. Right? Like, again, I even have, like I said, I've talked about this before. I have kids, and sometimes I have to meet their parents. And dude, some of their parents, not all of them, but some of their parents, they're drinking. Like every time I see them, they're drinking. And it causes them to just make bad decisions. You could tell. And so, Yeah, Nvidia's pumping up today. I'm trying to still, like, why is Nvidia up is the question. Let me see if I can figure it out. Maybe ARM earnings benefiting it positively. I'm not sure. Nvidia is up is attributed to Alphabet's recent announcement of a substantial increase in CapEx for 2025. So, again, CapEx, basically they're going to spend more money on potential AI stuff. That makes sense, I guess. Nah, Keegan. Yeah, I've never been a drinker. I'm not judging you. I really think people should be able to do whatever they want to do as long as they're not hurting others, right? But I've never been a big drinker. I like to control my environment too much. A little OCD. And on alcohol, I can't do that. NASDAQ up to 520s. Oil, yeah, oil's pretty volatile with the tariff news too, I think. So yeah, oil's gonna be volatile with the tariff news. All right, chat. Yeah, so we're sitting tight waiting. I'm trying not to trade this morning. I'm trying to be patient. Of course not. 1975. Of course not. But I think we should. I don't think they should, but I don't think we should prosecute them for it. I think we should get them help. Because I think, like, at a certain point you can't help it. And so, I think we should get them help and have more resources in that regard over prosecution. I've had friends that died. Like, I have this tattoo on my right arm, right here. My best friend, or one of my best friends, overdosed when I was just young, unfortunately. And so I've heard a firsthand experience with watching what it does to people, and it just changes people, man. It just changes people. So I think we should get them help. I don't think we should prosecute them in the same way, because it kind of causes this thing where, like, you prosecute them and then they can't get jobs and then they have no reason to stay sober, and it just kind of creates this really rough cycle that you see a lot. Big Bear AI. It's not bad. I've heard some good things about it, but like I never really used it personally. And I see the symbol BBAI. It's up big today, or it's moving a lot. It's been running. I might have been thinking about a different company here. Here's BBAI. Again, it's a penny stock right now, or kind of like a penny stock. Crazy run though, Nvidia-esque run, but who knows what it's going to do. A little bit too much risk for me here with stuff like this, but diversifying could be a useful thing sometimes. Yeah, it's all good. This happened. Like this happened. Man, I don't know how long ago it was. 15 years ago at least, or maybe not at least, but it happened a long time ago. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. Yeah, I'm talking about other stuff. I'm not gonna be too deep into what it was or how it happened. It's just kind of a sad story. I don't feel like talking about. But yeah. And it was ironic at the time because we always used to joke around with each other, be like, man. Like, we'd be drinking or something. We'd be like, man, if you ever died, we'd get you tatted on it. You know, I'd get your tattoo, bro. And he'd be like, yeah, me too. And then it actually happened. And so I had to kind of follow through with what I told him I would do. But yeah. Microsoft and Google. Yeah, Amazon earnings today, chat. Big earnings. Yeah, I invest in individual stocks. Again, I've slowed it down a little bit lately though. I'm just not interested in buying up too much stuff right now. It's just too volatile. The market's too volatile at this point in time. There's too much catalysts coming out that are like moving and breaking the market. And so for me, I'm just trying not to, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to trade smart and be smart, for this type of stuff. Alright, so we did have jobless claims come out. All right. All right, so we're getting a pullback. We're watching this 200 exponential 21,762 level. So we're watching that spot. We'll see if it actually holds. But that's the level we're paying attention to now. Small caps, not really interested in them. Yeah, for sure, Tiny, 100%. Why is gold dropping? Gold's up a lot. Like, so gold's up a lot. It's at almost 3K, 3,000. All right, look, there's that bounce right at the same level we talked about, this 200 exponential 762 level. We're riding right back up. Pretty confirmed support and resistance level, and I think we're kind of choppy right now. So we still got 20 minutes until the market open. But I think we're kind of choppy right now. And remember, tomorrow is the NFP report. That's a freaking huge report. Monstrously large report. Almost to 155,000 subscribers, guys. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Hit the sub button, guys. Gold dipping down a little bit, but gold's up a lot. It's been breaking lifetime highs. Nothing's going to go straight up. Markets are not just going to keep pumping up and never pull back. So yeah, I just like to look at value. I like to look at value. You know, like there's a couple, like, okay, so there's a couple stocks. It depends on what kind of investment you're doing. There's some stocks that are much more guaranteed returns, but they're smaller and you know, the gains are going to be on average smaller. And those are ones that are kind of like Apple, you know, Amazon, you know, Netflix, Google, stuff like that, right? Those are pretty safe long term. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment, trade responsibly. This is not financial advice, and everything we do here is for entertainment only. Now, with that said and out the way, though, there's some pretty sure thing stocks. Amazon, Google, Netflix, Apple, you know, pretty safe long-term stocks, right? Like, these are stocks that you can generally dollar cost average in long term, sit on them for decades, make 8, 10, 12% a year from it, and that's great, right? That's great. Then there's some other stocks that are a little bit more unpredictable. They're certainly less guaranteed, but they have good growth. These are growth stocks. They have good growth. They are, somebody's bringing up like HIMS, HIMS. That's a good one. Up and coming company, relatively new, been growing a ton lately. And stocks like that are companies where you're going to make more, but the risk is more. And so when I designate specific like funds to investments, for those type of companies, I'm going to invest less in, and I'm going to be okay with losing more in those companies. I'm going to have a much stronger risk tolerance. I'm going to be much less risk averse on those companies and kind of accept the risk in those companies, but only put a small piece of my portfolio into them, if that makes sense, right? So that way, if some of them lose or go down, it's not the end of the world. I only designated a small piece to them. But if they do end up like running up big and doing things, then I can capitalize on the longer term growth of those companies. But everybody's different. And again, guys, just to clarify, I am absolutely not talking about penny stocks. I'm not talking about low float stocks that you see a bunch of gurus pumping day trading nonsense on. I am not talking about low float penny stocks. I am not. 90% plus of penny stocks fail. And when I say penny stocks, I mean low float stocks under like $5, $10. 90% of them fail. If you treat those companies like they're good investments, you will lose tons and tons of money over time. You will see a lot of YouTube videos pumping up those companies talking about the top 5 best penny stocks to buy right now. Look back at the history. Most of those stocks lose. And they have these like bag holder communities that are all like confirmation bias, patting themselves on the back, talking about how great they are. Most of those companies lose. And so if you invest in them like they're good companies, you will lose money. Most good companies do not start off as penny stocks. Okay, most good companies IPO and they're immediately $30, $40, $50 a share, right? Every major Mag 7 stock that you can think of, for the most part, I think there might be 1 or 2 that weren't like this, but almost all the Magnificent 7 stocks were never penny stocks ever. And they even if you look at the history, some of them might show that they were $2 a share, $3 a share, but that's post-split, right? If you look at the actual like IPO price, most of them are like $15, $20, $30 a share. Like Facebook, never a penny stock. Most of these companies were just never penny stocks. And so that's the context you need to know. Like, good companies don't start off as penny stocks and just grow to be blue chips. That's not how it goes. Yeah, maybe people can make money day trading them. That's probably true. I never could, but you know, I'm sure there's some people that can. I'm not knocking that industry. Just don't buy a course. Yeah, that's the easiest way I could put it. Bag holder communities. Do you believe in another wave of inflation? It depends on what payrolls show tomorrow. Yeah, it really depends on what payroll show, in all honesty. Sorry, I was on the phone. I know y'all can't hear me. What the heck, dude? Dude, why is my gas bill $500? I just paid a $500 gas bill, dude. What the heck is going on? All right, so we're still bouncing at that 62 level. All right, guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. All right, guys, look, we bounced at that exact level we talked about, that 762 level, where we have this support level. So we talked about this level, and look at the bounce right off of it. I'm sorry, I've been on the phone. Inflation. I wouldn't know, dude. Yeah, it must be a leak, to be honest. Yeah, but even with that stuff, like, it shouldn't be anywhere near that price. Like, that's very strange, to be honest. That's off. That's weird. All right, guys. Hey, we got 9 minutes. 9 minutes left. I mean, I have a swimming pool, but the gas wouldn't be associated with that. Yeah, but $500 for a gas bill is crazy, and it was like this last month too. And I thought maybe like they had some type of issue with their system, but apparently, like, I don't know. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, we're pulling back. We got like we're still in this range. I don't know if I want to buy it yet. We're too close to the open. We got 8 minutes. I'm gonna wait until the opening bell first. Yeah, luckily the center point people are here, so like they're here now. That's why I was calling Carol, because she's out there talking to them, and so I told her to tell them that our gas bill's $500. Something's off. They need to check. AMD up to 111.20s. Our levels are holding really nicely here on the NASDAQ, though. We'll see if we can continue it into the opening bell. Hopefully they keep holding. Still sideways, man. We've been getting this a lot, dude. A lot of my trading. For gas, though, gas bill's almost never that high, you know. Gas bill's usually like $50, $60. ETH trades. How are the claims? Claims were higher than expected. You can see the claims numbers right here. So they showed up at 219 versus 213 expected. So a little bit high, signaling less economic growth. But the market seems to kind of like it, I think. I don't know. It's hard to tell. We'll have to wait for payrolls. We had the prelim NFP data come out yesterday. It came in higher than expected, I think, as well. So kind of mixed data, I would say. Mixed data. Hey. All right, here's AMD dipping down. So AMD dipping down a little bit. Do you make money from these streams? Of course I do. I'm here to make money. And again, you can't knock me for it. Like, everybody's here to make money. That's what I'm not spending hours a day streaming on YouTube for nothing, you know, just because I want to help people. I just like teaching, guys. You know, I just want to help people. I'm not actually going to trade. I'm going to sell you courses on how to trade, but I'm not going to trade. I'm just going to sell you courses on it and then just say I like teaching, guys. Like, listen, you know. That'd be like if I had a tightrope walking course. How to tightrope walk across buildings, you know. and I sold courses on how to tightrope walk. But I never actually did it. And when people ask me, they're like, "Hey, bro, you're selling courses on how to walk across ropes on buildings, but you never actually do it." I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I just like teaching, guys. Listen, buy John's tightrope walking course right now. That's it. Top 3 best tightrope walking courses in the world right now." Silly, you know. Both. Top 3 tightest ropes in the world right now. John's tightrope walking course, the greatest ever. No, it's funny though. It's like, dude, like, look, I can't get too mad, but like, my biggest issue is that they're acting like trading penny stocks is somehow super easy and wildly profitable to just trade penny stocks. It's got to be one of the worst niches of trading to get involved with. The most variance, like trading penny stocks has the most variance over almost any other like form of trading. And so to act like it's like investing and that like, oh, you can just learn and get rich. Like, yeah, I'm sure that's why you don't trade anymore and you just like teaching, sir. I've only said it 3 times since joining the 3. I mean, I bet you it was the top 3 ever in the world of me saying top 3. All right, chat. We got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Those who don't succeed, teach. Top 3 worst teacher of all time here. All right, look at us bounce off this level, 771. Confirm my level again. Look at that. You love to see it. It's one of the top 3 best levels. That's 4 now. Right there. Look at that. Right off of my level. Let's hope it behaves this way at the open. A minute and a half, guys. A minute and a half. Ah, bro. You know you can't post this. I know what you did last summer. Last summer, I probably sat around talking about finance in my office for most of the summer. Went swimming with the family. Trained jiu-jitsu. And tried to start businesses is probably what I did last summer. Top 3 worst summers ever. Google coming down a little bit. Netflix is too. AMD dipping some ahead of the opening bell. We got less than a minute now. Less than a minute. Hey, good luck. Sick. Good luck, bro. I don't have my blue belt yet, guys. Not yet. I passed the test. I don't know when the promotion's going to be. I think it's this Sunday, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I'll have it this Sunday. All right, guys. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, chat, we got 10 minutes, or 10 seconds, I'm sorry. Maybe it's my ego, but I genuinely, here's the opening bell. All right, so there's the volatility kicking in. Let's watch tech. Let's watch tech stocks. Let's watch microchips. AMD's right here, dipping down a little bit at the opening bell. We got to watch NVIDIA too. NVIDIA's been pumping. Let's see what happens here. Big pullbacks. I'm going to wait at least 5 before we trade, at least 5 minutes. I don't know. College football is fun to watch. I like college football. Mark seems okay. I feel like I could take Mark, but it might be just my ego. All right, look, we're at 750s. And again, it has to do with pressure testing. All right. Like, I'm a normal guy. Top 3 greatest YouTubers ever, but normal guy. I go to the gym. Nobody's taking it easy on me. If I roll with a higher belt, I'm getting freaking punished. You know, there's a difference between that and being like one of the richest, most famous people in the world, right? You know, the pressure testing is not the same with them. That's my only thing, you know. At the same time, though, he's got some of the best teachers in the world. My teachers are great, but I'm sure Mark's are a little bit better, and that's normal. So he probably still could beat me up realistically. But yeah. All right, guys, we're breaking down. We're at 740s. There's 730s. Only a minute and a half in, 2 minutes in. All right, later, Tiny. Have a great day. Thanks so much. All right, AMD flying up right now. I think we're going to see a rebound. Look at that level confirming, guys. Dude, I'm not saying... Listen. I'm not saying I've got the best levels. But look at that. Again, we made a video on this, guys. This is a perfect time for a shameless plug here. We made a video on how we find levels, guys. Recently. If you want to watch the video on how we find levels like this, check it out. Here's the video. All right, look at AMD. This is all driven by AMD right now. This big bounce, look at AMD. AMD just hit 112s. Back up some. Technically green on the day now, too. I'm not really that good at triangles, D. I'm not really good at triangles. I'm good at guillotines, bow and arrows, arm bars. There's probably like, arm bars are probably like my highest percentage. If it's a gi, bow and arrow is probably my highest percentage, followed by a arm bar. If I get your arm, you know. All right, so top 3 worst jiu-jitsu ever, though. But yeah. I'm using Top Step X. AMD pushing up. It's at 112s. AMD still rising over the previous closing price. I guess I'm bullish here, but it's not long enough to we don't have enough cheap entries, and there's a big bounce. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do today versus the last few days is we're gonna take longer term trades based off of good support and resistance situations and levels. I've came to this conclusion: if my levels are good, I need to take longer term trades based off of the levels, of course. So that's what we're looking at today. Tesla's still down to 370s. I'm going to buy this dip here. We're looking for 771s, chat, 771s. If we get high enough, we might add to it. Risk is 750s. All right, we took half off. I'm going to go ahead and lock that in. We already made enough, but I like the risk reward in that trade. And so we went ahead and cut it. We confirmed this level against 771s. Look at that. We tapped it right there. So a pretty good trade, I think. We got out close enough to it. I can never hit the paper cutter. Paper cutter is kind of hard to get if the person is wise to it, you know. Hey, later, Glass. And again, we're on Top Step X right now. You can see how similar this is to day trading stocks. There's no PDT rule in futures. Most day traders lose. And so if you're trying to day trade, most day traders try to trade stocks for some reason. The futures market Better liquidity, no PDT rule. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks. No PDT restrictions. Funded account programs are allowed that genuinely limit your risk. Top Step gives you a demo. Base one's $49 a month for the subscription. They give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K without losing 2K on that demo first, following their rules and conditions, and you want to confirm it all with them, I can't guarantee anything, but if you could do that, they fund you 50K, 90% split. They've paid out almost $200 million. If you fail, you're out $50. It's the best of both worlds. It comes with real-time data, and so a demo account with real-time data in future could cost around the same, so the value's there. And it's just a great way to test your skill. It's kind of like a souped-up demo account that kind of lets you learn how to follow rules. But if you're good enough, you can get started for $50, potentially start taking withdrawals. But again, most day traders lose. I think that's the same here, and frankly, it's just a lot cheaper to learn this way than it is to fund 5, 10, 20, 30 grand into your own account and probably lose that. But I'm biased. They're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. And so I get paid by them. You want to confirm it all with them first. Can't guarantee anything. I'm not an investment professional. You want to understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. But the link is in the chat right now if you want to check it out. It's a great way to help support our free content. Thanks so much. All right, so we are holding my levels pretty strong. We went up to 780s, rejected. I don't know if I want to buy 750 or not. AMD's looking a little weak here, but we do have a support level right around the spot, right around it. I'm gonna buy this one. We'll try it again. We'll add to this here too. Take half off and get up to our resistance. So we hit this is my reward target, just to put it into perspective. I was going to use a risk level of the 750 line. We just caught it quickly, so far so good there. All right, right back to 750. This was my original support level I wanted to buy off of too. The only problem is AMD's looking weak. But look at the level, 750. I gotta trust my levels more, man. Look at that. Exactly off of it too, man. Look at that 750 spot. I'm not down. I'm trading my Top Step funded account. It's not down. Is anybody else finding it down too? I don't see it down anywhere. All right, confirming my level again here. I don't know if I want to buy this one now though. We'll try it. We'll take one. Keep it very tight though, very loose trade. Or very tight, small risk trade. All right, we're gonna cut it. First loss of the day. I'm gonna switch. Let's see what else we got. I'm gonna switch to this one. Yeah, it's working fine for me. I'm checking the dashboard on my end. Yeah, we're watching the market try to flush here. Market's very choppy, to be honest, at the opening bell. AMD's starting to fall too. I'm kind of watching a lot of other stuff turn. What a flying up here. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of drops. Yeah, now we're over some of these levels here. All right. Choppy rejection here at some of these tops. Watch AMD. AMD's kind of approaching some lows of the day here. Let's see if we can find some good stuff. I'm going to short the top of this. Maybe add a little bit to it. We're using a risk level up here. I don't want to bounce off of this spot though. I'm going to take profit there real quick. Could have added some more. We caught the breakdown here, but it's alright. Very small little trade, but that's okay. Yeah, top step's working fine for me too, I think. It's hard to tell what we're going to do. I'm going to start scaling up some size, though. AMD's still looking very weak, but, like... I'm going to buy this up real quick, actually. 3 contracts. See if we can pop. We got out of half of one there. I just want to see if it bounces. We cracked this low, we got to cut it. I think AMD's been falling for enough, so it has a little bit more edge potentially on the upside, but I might be wrong here. Let's try it. 2 contracts. It took half off. There we go. We were traced really nicely up there, but this resistance level still struggling. We're going to get out another piece of it, lock. And then... there we go. We're correct. Gotta go to cut it based off of that momentum. We got the little follow-through bounce. A lot of stuff looks like a symmetrical triangle right now, to be honest. Look at the bounce. So we were right about that. Now we're kind of moving past some resistance here. Very strong resistance level here. Let's see if we can break past it. There it is. Look at that. Wow. Hey, our upward direction worked. Look at this move too. Wow. What stock is this? Is this Apple? It's not Tesla. Apple is flying up right now. This is Apple and this is Amazon, I'm guessing. No, Amazon's still kind of weak. This is Apple. This is purely Apple's move. Wow. Crazy. We didn't have any economic data today, did we? No. Nothing came out just now, so weird. Yeah, market's flying. Apple, rip it up. So Apple, is it QCOM? No, not really QCOM either. Spotify, Warner Music Group signed new multi-year distribution deal. Is this Spotify? No, Spotify's not really up too much. Huge move though. This is Apple. Apple's riding up. I know it's kind of risky. I'm going to short the top up here. There we go. Half off. Take that off very quickly and get out the rest there. Very quick short. We caught the pullback. It just looked extended. Yeah, we're flying up. Hey, baby. How you doing?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna take the dog one dog at a time and take him out and to let him go.
Okay.
Because there's people here and they have to be in the backyard too.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we've been shorting in our other accounts too. So I'll show you guys my stats on the day, my P&L right now. Somebody said they wanted me to show my P&L today. So this is one of my accounts just on the day alone. And one of my accounts we've traded 30 times. We are up $314 on the day. The other account we've traded 22 times. We're up $42. This one we're trading micros on. But so far so good. Green on both the accounts we've traded on today. Using my levels. Look at this level hold too. So we're just following my levels if we can. It is everything. Apple, AMD's down since the opening bell. Google's basically flat. Netflix is basically flat since the opening bell. Amazon is down a little bit since the opening bell. Spotify is down since the opening bell. So, I mean, Apple is the most heavily weighted stock in the world in both indices, right? So in indexes, Apple's the heaviest weighted stock. It's the heaviest in the NASDAQ. It's the heaviest in the S&P 500. And so this is Apple driving everything up. I mean, I'm not saying other stuff isn't up, like Meta's up a little bit as well today for sure. Microsoft is as well, but it's certainly not everything. I would say half of the stocks are down. Tesla, AMD, Amazon, they're all down. Yeah, even Nvidia's down since the opening bell today. I'm going to try to buy my level if we get a good enough spot here, but... Oh, I missed the click. I missed the click, and look at it retrace, dude. I literally clicked here in between both of them. And then it retraced all the way back up there. It might have been good, though. Let's see. There's the pullback. I'm too busy laughing to take it. Oh, man. Hey, thank you, Anthony. I get it. Like, I watch people I don't subscribe to. So I'm not even mad if you don't subscribe. I mean, I hate you forever. But, like, I'm not that mad. It's okay. AMD hitting that volume weighted average price 200 exponential spot. Where's Bitcoin? It's at 98.9 thousand. Still sitting at right around 99K. Gotta wait. Ooh. All right, guys. I don't know if I want to buy this dip. We got a cushion, so if we pull back to 780, I'll buy it. But we got to pull back there. It doesn't look like it's going to give it to me. Okay, there we go. That's enough. 3. We're going to take a bigger position now. That. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm going to get out here just because I'm so frustrated. Honestly, I accidentally cut that trade. I wanted to add up to 6 contracts. And look at the bounce we would have gotten from it. Somehow, I got to pay attention to where I'm clicking here. Maybe I should set up hotkeys. But it's all good. We made 30, 40 bucks from the trade. You know, we're still up nicely, but look at the retracement. We would have made more. I'm mismanaging them a little bit today. It's all good. That's definitely you, Anthony, for sure. Yeah, Tesla's down on the day, right? It's flying down. It's at 360s. Look at that retracement, too. Oof, if I had 6 contracts, let's be honest here, I'd probably be out way earlier than now, but that's okay. We were right about the bounce position, though. That dip would have been nice, man. That would have been a juicy dip buy right here. We talked about 780. Look at that. We made money on it, just not that much. Could have made more for sure. That's Big Bruce. Bruce is very vocal. Sorry, we got contractors here right now. Is Palantir flying? Hush, Bruce. Be quiet, buddy. Palantir is flying today. Look at PLTR. It's up to 105s. Non-farm payrolls, unemployment data tomorrow, guys. Big day, big report, big interest. I'm going to get out of here, I think. I'm up big on the day. I don't want to give back my profits, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Hey, I love you all. You'll have a great day. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And just to put this into perspective, like in one of my accounts, let me show you. In one of my accounts, I am up very like big on the day. I'm up like 300 plus. That's big for me. And you can kind of see my trades here if you really want to. Like we made 70, 20, 125, lost 75, made 105, made 55 here. So we're up 300 plus on the day. The way I was able to do this is I built up a cushion first, right? So I built up like a $50 to $70 cushion here. And then once I did that, that's when I took more risk. I started trading regular E-mini contracts and just kind of, and that's when we were able to make the rest. And that's the recipe I'm going to use to, from here on out. But yeah, guys, hey, if you want to check out Top Step, this is a Top Step funded account. If you want to check them out, I'll put the link up one more time. Again, they're an affiliate of mine. I am biased because I get paid by them, but they're very useful for learning how to day trade. Almost all day traders lose. I don't care what course you take, who you follow, anything like that. Almost all day traders lose money. And so if you want to limit that risk and kind of trade on like a middle ground where you get a demo, if you can pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose the monthly subscription, which is about the same cost as a demo account in futures in some places. Just a great way to learn. Most day traders lose. If you pass it, you get a 90% split, 10K. You get to keep your first 10K in profit, which is similar to funding your own account, but there's just less risk for the most part than there's less risk than losing thousands like most new traders end up doing for the most part in general. Although I can't guarantee anything. Always make your own assessment. I love you all. You'll have a great day. Here's the link in chat. And yeah, y'all be safe today. I'm going to lock in my profits for the day and just kind of bow out. We'll be back for Amazon earnings later on this afternoon. Guys, so Amazon earnings later on this afternoon. We will be streaming Amazon earnings live like we always do. I'll see you guys then. We'll see how that affects the market right now, which is so far pretty green on the day. So far pretty green on most stocks. But I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good.